For this activity, you're going to need your scissors and your glue. So we are going to be talking about seasons. There are 4 seasons. There's winter, spring, summer, fall. Remember, we read left to right, left to right. So we have winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter is when it's really cold out. It's snowing here in Wisconsin. There's other places that have winter that do not have snow, but in Wisconsin we have snow. We usually have lots of ice on the roads. We'll see icicles. We can build snowmen and have snowball fights. It gets really, really cold in the winter. Everything's asleep. That's like plants and some animals are asleep. Some migrate, which means they go to warmer places. And there are some animals that just adapt in the winter. Bears and rabbits and things like that, they burrow in and they hibernate. The grass stops growing. The trees have lost their leaves and they're not going to bring any more out. They're sleeping. They're not producing sap. Everything's slower in nature. And then it starts to warm up. The snow starts to melt. Things start to wake up. The animals wake up. Little blooms start to form on the trees. They start to get a little bit of flowers on them, or not flowers, leaves, and then flowers. We start getting into spring, and spring things start waking up. It gets really pretty. There's flowers, and it's sunnier, and it's warmer. It's not super warm, but it's warmer. And then it starts to get really, really warm, and everything's in bloom. The trees have all their leaves on it. That's summer. It gets really hot. That's a good time to go swimming and things like that. And then it starts to cool down. The leaves start to change colors, and they start to fall off the trees in fall or autumn. We have autumn on our paper. If you go anywhere else in the United States or in the world other than the United States, they don't use the word fall for autumn. We call it fall because leaves fall off trees. Other places do not use that, so they use autumn. And then things start to fall off. They lose their leaves. The leaves in the trees start to fall asleep. And we get back to winter and we start all over again. So on our other little sheet that we cut off, we have, it says rainbows, ice cream, robin, leaves, hat, scarf, pumpkin, skating, sandcastles, cornucopia, snowmen, sailing, flowers. What you're going to do is we are going to cut out on the dotted line the little boxes. Again, I don't move my scissors, I move my paper. So I'm going to just cut on the dotted line. Okay, so right now I just have 2 strips. I'm going to start at this first one right here. I'm going to cut it off. It says ice cream. When is ice cream a really good treat? We could have ice cream any of the seasons, but when is it a really good treat? We're going to need our glue. We just put a little bit of glue on the back where there's nothing written on it. And which one do you think it would go into? Would it be a winter treat? Would you like ice cream in the winter? I think it might be a little too cold. Spring? Spring might be good. Ooh, summer. I'm going to have to say summer because it's hot outside and a nice cool treat is wonderful. The next one is leaves. Leaves. When did the leaves start falling? Right now, in October, November, we start to see all the leaves falling off. They've changed colors. Now they're starting to fall off. So I would say autumn. Autumn is when those leaves start falling off. If you were thinking about when the leaves start coming, those would be the buds and things like that. That would be spring. However, when they're falling off would be autumn. The next one is pumpkins. Ooh, that's a good one. We're in that time right now where pumpkins are a lot of fun. We just got done carving ours. So again, I would say autumn. Autumn's a good time for those pumpkins. It's when they're ripe. It's when they're done growing and we can pick them. Make pumpkin pie. Then we have sandcastle. When's a nice time to make a sandcastle? Usually when we're making a sandcastle, we're by the water. We're at a beach. I don't think I'd want to be on a beach in the winter and by the water. It'd get really, really cold. Spring might be good. Oop, but summer. Summer is a very nice time to have a sandcastle. In the fall's kind of a little chilly too. So I would say summer. Then we have the snowman. When's a good time to make a snowman? The winter, right? That's when we have the snow. So I'm going to put the snowman right in the winter box. And then the next one is flowers. Flowers. Nice flowers. I think flowers go in spring because that's when they start to come out. They start to bloom and they're really pretty. Okay, so you have your other strip. I want you to cut those out and place them on your chart. I want you to try it on your own. Okay, if you are not done, please pause the video, finish, and then push play. We're going to go through the answers. Okay, so in the first box, in winter, we have skating. That's when that ice is out and you can skate on it. We have snowmen, we have hats and scarves because you want to bundle up. You want to be nice and warm. Moving over to spring, we have flowers like we did together. We have rainbows because spring has a lot of rain. There is a lot of rain in spring. And so when we get a rainbow is when there's rain and there's sun at the same time. And so we see more rainbows in the spring than we do anywhere else in the year. And then we have robins. Robins are birds that come out in spring and they start making their home and they have babies in the spring. They have the eggs in the nest. And so a lot of people think of robins when they think of spring. And then in summer we have ice cream for that cold treat. We have sand castles and we have sailing because the summer is a great time to be on the water. And then we have autumn. We have leaves. We also have to rake all those leaves. Pumpkin and a cornucopia. A cornucopia is a container usually made out of wicker, which is a kind of bendable wood that's laced together, and it looks like a horn. And people put fruits and vegetables in it. It's usually a nice decoration. It has something to do with pilgrims and way back during what we call the first Thanksgiving, and how people associate Thanksgiving with. It's more of a symbol than something we use anymore to represent Thanksgiving. You guys have been working hard. Give yourselves a kiss on the brain, pat on the back, and a great big hug.